So if you've created your quiz questions, you're ready for step 2 of actually adding a quiz to your As You Learn site. Your first step is to go under the gear and turn editing on. That adds this Add an Activity or Resource link to every block within your course. You would select the block where you want to add the quiz and then click that link. Then select Quiz and click Add. From here, you're going to give the quiz a name. You can also write a description if you like. Scrolling down, timing is critical. I'm going to click to enable both of these. And this is going to be the window of time in which students can take this particular quiz. So I'm going to pick some dates here. The 15th of November, and I'm going to let you start it at 7 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to close it on November 18th. But I'm going to let that stay open until 23:59. 23:59 is 11:59 at night. I'm also going to limit the time that you have to take the quiz. You can make this whatever you like. It defaults to minutes, but you can actually make it hours, whatever you need it to be. Next, under grade, how many attempts are you going to allow them? I'm just going to allow 1. You can allow unlimited if it's a practice one. You could allow 2 and say pick the highest grade. You have a lot of options here. Under layout, I usually leave this on free. That allows students to navigate back and forth throughout the questions. If they find a hard question, they can skip it and come back. Under review options, this is actually one of the trickiest pieces within the quiz. I'm actually going to click this hamburger icon. I wanted you to see all 4 columns. Review options. This is something, if you're not certain, talk to an IT consultant and one of us will help you with what this means. There are 4 columns, and this determines what can students see and when can they see it. So this is what they can see as they're taking the quiz, which is basically the attempt. They can see the questions. The next column, immediately after the attempt, is the first 2 minutes after they hit submit. Later, while the quiz is still open, is after that 2-minute window. So let's say I took this quiz on the first day, but you left it open for 3 days. What can I see on day 3? And this is after the quiz is closed. Everybody has taken the exam, and what can I see now? So people make different choices. But often the biggest questions that we get are related to scores. When can students see their scores? Many faculty wait until after the quiz is closed to see their points. Some faculty want them to know immediately what their score was. So if that's the case, select points. That determines when they can see their scores. Now some faculty say they can see their scores, but they never get to see those questions ever again. They have to come by my office to get those. If you don't want them to see the questions, uncheck the attempt. That's enough to get you started. Once you've set up the quiz here, click Save and Display. Now here I can see no questions have been added yet to this quiz, so I want to add some questions. I'm going to click Edit Quiz. Now up here in the corner is the maximum grade. Let's say I want this question to be worth 20 points. I can put whatever number and it will adjust based on those weights within the question on what each question is worth. Here you have different options. You can pull questions from a question bank, or you can also pull questions randomly. For example, if I have 30 questions, maybe I just pull 5. I'm going to start with the most basic. Most people do pick just questions from the question bank. Up here at the top, you will see your category, so you might want to go to your category. If I want all of those questions added, I can just click this. It selects all 3, and I say Add Selected Questions to the quiz. That means everybody gets those 3 questions. But then maybe I have some random questions I want to pull. Here I would go under Add and choose a random question. And then I could pick Biology Final. And how many questions do I want them to get? 3. You can tell these are random. It has sort of a dice icon. If I'm happy with that, I can also shuffle these as well. With how I added these, the first 3 questions I picked, you can see the question names. That means everybody gets those exact questions. The random one means I have a lot of questions in that category. We're not all going to get the same one. Some students will get different ones. If I'm happy with how this looks, all you have to do is hit save. On this, you can see I have 6 questions. They're all weighted at a value of 1 for a total of 6 points. But let's say I want the quiz to be worth 10. I would just type 10 and click Save. Now, if I want to preview, what would this quiz look like? I'm going to click this link here, Quiz 1. And then there's the link, Preview Quiz Now. Start Attempt. So this is what students would see. They would pick their answer, hit Next Page. In this case, type an essay, next page, pick an answer, next page. And what a student would do in this instance is click Submit and Finish. Once a student has submitted, they cannot go back into that quiz and change answers. Now earlier in Review Options, I was allowing students to see their points, their scores, right after the exam. So that's why it's displaying this. But in this instance, there's still an ungraded essay question, which normally would add points. But this is what a student would see if I allow them to see the attempt and the scores immediately after they take it.